What's good, movie buffs? This week we're talking comedy. The kind you put on when you're tired of everything else for a minute and just want to enjoy yourself. There's enough going on in real life. Enough noise, enough stress, enough negativity coming at you all day. Sometimes you just want something you can sit back with, laugh at, and actually finish without checking your phones every 5 minutes. That's what this list is built for. These are comedy movies and shows out right now that work when you actually watch them. Stuff that moves, stuff that commits, and stuff that lets you escape for a bit and just have a good time. Different styles, different vibes, but every pick this week earns its spot by doing what comedy's supposed to: entertain and give your brain a break. We're counting them down from 10 to 1, keeping it moving and letting the footage do the work. Each week at WatchList Plus, we do the research through all streaming platforms, finding movies and shows so you don't have to. This is WatchList Plus. Let's get into it. Starting out our list at number 10 is Ghosts, a house that's been standing for centuries. Everyone who's ever lived there is still inside. Different eras, different rules, and different personalities, all sharing the same rooms. Some of them have been waiting a long time. Some of them still think it's their place, and some of them have absolutely no intention of leaving. Only one person can actually see what's happening. Everyone else just feels the fallout. Rooms fill up fast, reactions stack behind the moment you're supposed to be watching. Things go wrong without anyone knowing why. The past doesn't stay quiet here. It doesn't stay in the background. It keeps showing up. Same house, too many residents, no checkout time. Ghosts, streaming now on Paramount+. Coming in at number 9 is Abbott Elementary. Early mornings, long days, no budget, no backup. Different personalities, different priorities, same building. Every hallway is active, every classroom is full, and every plan gets interrupted. Conversations overlapping, situations stacking faster than they can be handled, moments happening whether anyone's ready or not. Nothing runs on schedule, nothing goes exactly as planned, and nobody's waiting for permission to speak. People are trying to keep things moving, trying to keep things together, and trying to make it work. Same place, same day, new problem every 5 minutes. Abbott Elementary, streaming now on Hulu. Coming in at number 8 is Only Murders in the Building. One building, a lot of neighbors, everyone minding their business. Until they're not. Different lives, different routines, same hallways, same elevators, same walls hearing everything. People listening through doors, people watching from across the courtyard, people noticing things that they weren't supposed to notice. A podcast brings strangers together, questions start piling up, and the building starts feeling smaller. Every conversation sounds different the second time. Every routine feels off. Every neighbor has a version of the story. Doors open, doors close, something doesn't line up. Clues hiding in plain sight, details slipping past, moments you can only catch if you're paying attention. Same building, too many stories, one mystery nobody could stop circling. Only Murders in the Building, streaming now on Hulu. Coming in at number 7 is The Bear. A world-class chef comes home, not to a restaurant, but to a family business that's barely holding it together. A kitchen that never slows down, a crew that doesn't want change, and a place built on habits that don't work anymore. Fine dining standards dropped into a sandwich shop, no space, no money, and no margin for error. Lunch rush hits, orders stack, tempers flare, nothing stops. Legacy hangs over every decision. Grief sits in the background of every shift. Pressure shows up on every plate. The clock keeps moving, the tickets keep coming, and everyone feels it. Same kitchen, same day, everything on the line. The Bear, streaming now on Hulu. Coming in at number 6 is The Gentleman. Old money, new ownership, and a property with a secret no one likes to talk about. An estate that looks respectable on the surface. A criminal operation running quietly underneath it. Someone inherited the land. They also inherit the business that comes with it. Deals made over drinks, threats delivered with manners, violence handled without raising voices. Everyone smiles, everyone lies, and everyone keeps score. Rules exist here, they're just enforced differently depending on who you are. Every favor creates a debt. Every decision pulls another player into the mix, and every attempt to clean things up make the situation worse. High society pretending nothing's wrong, organized crime pretending everything's under control. Money moves quietly, power changes hands politely. Consequences arrive whether anyone's ready or not. Nothing about this stays contained, nothing about this stays simple, and nobody walks away untouched. The Gentleman, streaming now on Netflix. Number 5 is Palm Royale. Palm Beach, early 70s. Money everywhere, but access is everything. A woman on the outside, a society that never opens the doors easily. Private clubs, invitation-only rooms, and rules that aren't written down. Every outfit is a signal, every conversation a test, every smile comes with a condition. Old money watching closely, new ambition pushing its way in. Compliments that cut, favors that cost, and promises that disappear the second you need them. What looks glamorous on the surface gets sharper the closer you get. Status decides everything, who belongs, who doesn't, and who's allowed to stay. Power hides behind etiquette, control hides behind manners, and nobody gets in without paying something first. The parties never stop, and the judgment never leaves, and the door is always half closed. Palm Royale, streaming now on Apple TV+. Number 4 is Ted. Back to the 90s, where nothing's filtered and nobody's pretending to be better than they are. You've got a kid trying to grow up, parents trying to keep control, and a talking teddy bear who has absolutely no interest in helping with either of those things. Everything happens under the same roof. School, family, friends, it all bleeds together, and Ted's always right in the middle of it, saying the thing nobody else wants to say and pushing every situation just a little further than it needs to go. Rules don't really hold here. Consequences show up late, and bad ideas usually get followed all the way through. Every argument escalates, every conversation turns sideways, and the adults are always a step behind what's actually happening. Growing up is already messy, and Ted just makes sure it stays that way. Nothing wraps up clean, nobody learns the lessons they're supposed to, and the chaos keeps moving whether anyone's ready or not. Ted, streaming now on Peacock. Coming in at number 3 is Jury Duty. A room full of strangers, everyone showing up for the same reason, everyone thinking they know how this usually goes. People make small talk, they follow instructions, and they wait their turn. Some conversations feel a little too smooth. Some reactions land a second too late. Some moments hang longer than they should. Nobody explains anything. Nobody breaks rhythm. Everything keeps going like this is all completely normal. Time stretches, days stack, personalities start to fill the room. You start watching how people listen instead of what they say. You notice who's comfortable, who's trying too hard, and who's just doing their best to get through the day. Awkward moments don't get resolved, they just sit there. And then something happens right on top of them. The process keeps moving, the rooms keep filling, and the pressure quietly builds without ever announcing itself. Nothing here feels staged, nothing feels forced, and that's what makes it work. You're not watching for a punchline, you're watching how long everyone can keep it together. Jury Duty, streaming now on Amazon Freevee. Coming in at number 2 is What We Do in the Shadows. Everything here looks normal at first glance. A house, roommates, routines that feel familiar. People going about their nights like nothing's out of place, and that's exactly how it's supposed to feel. Conversations keep moving while something else is clearly happening in the background. Reactions don't line up. Decisions make sense to the people making them and absolutely no one else. Arguments start over things that shouldn't matter and spiral into places nobody planned on going. Time doesn't move the same way here. Rules exist, but nobody agrees on what they are or when they apply. People interrupt each other constantly, miss obvious cues, and double down on decisions that were wrong the moment they were made. Nothing ever fully resets. Situations linger, awkward moments stretch. Problems carry over into the next night like they were never addressed in the first place. Everyone's convinced they're in control while proving the opposite every few seconds. The house stays busy, the nights stay long. Plans fall apart mid-sentence, and the confidence never matches what's actually happening. You start watching faces instead of listening to words. You notice who's reacting too late, who's completely unfazed, and who's taking everybody way too seriously. The longer it runs, the clearer it gets that nobody here is operating on the same page, and nobody thinks that's a problem. Everything overlaps, nothing lines up, and the chaos keeps moving whether anyone's prepared for it or not. What We Do in the Shadows, streaming now on FX and Hulu. And coming in at the number 1 spot today is Curb Your Enthusiasm. Conversation turns sideways over nothing. A favor becomes an argument. A small moment refuses to stay small. Nobody lets things slide. Every comment gets picked apart, every rule gets questioned, and every social expectation gets pushed just far enough to make the room uncomfortable. What should be quick turns into something that drags on because no one wants to back off. Explanations make it worse. Apologies land wrong, and instead of smoothing anything over, the situation keeps stacking while everyone insists they're being reasonable. There's no music telling you how to feel, nobody stepping in to clean it up, just people doubling down while everything keeps drifting further off course. Tiny issues turn into full arguments, manners become weapons, and the longer it goes, the more obvious it is that nobody's actually winning. They're just committed. The next interaction starts like the last one just didn't explode, and it keeps going. Curb Your Enthusiasm, streaming now on Max. And that wraps up this week's WatchList Plus. Hopefully you found something to watch and laugh at. Let us know in the comments what you're watching right now. Let's build this into a community of like-minded people who all enjoy things cinema. And if you enjoy what we do here, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Happy watching!